We've all been there, feeling that persistent mental fatigue that lingers even after what should have been a restful night of sleep. It's that heaviness, that brain fog that never seems to lift, no matter how much we try to rest or unplug. And the truth is, we're not alone in this. With the pace of modern life, the demands of constant connectivity, and the pressures of daily work and personal responsibilities, our mental health is increasingly being put to the test. But what if we told you that science has been working behind the scenes, developing cutting-edge solutions that are already transforming the way we care for both our minds and bodies? In today's fast-paced world, burnout and chronic stress have become so common that we almost consider them normal. Yet, it's not something we should accept as an inevitable part of life. The brain is designed to handle stress in short bursts, not the ongoing, relentless strain we experience in modern society. As a result, we're facing a mental health crisis. But there's hope, and it comes from some unexpected places that merge the worlds of biology, psychology, and technology in ways we never thought possible. Let's take a deep dive into the most exciting and current trends in self-care, specifically those that combine our need for mental well-being with the latest advancements in technology. And yes, even robotics is playing a surprising role in this revolution. Imagine a world where machines help us not only with physical tasks, but also in nurturing and maintaining our mental health. First, let's talk about mindfulness. In the past decade, mindfulness practices have exploded in popularity. We've seen apps like Headspace and Calm guiding us through meditation sessions, offering a way to momentarily disconnect from the chaos around us. But what if I told you that mindfulness is evolving beyond just an app on our phones? Researchers are now integrating mindfulness practices with biofeedback technology, allowing us to monitor brainwave patterns in real time. Devices like the Muse headband track our brain activity during meditation and offer instant feedback on how well we're managing stress. This is where science meets self-awareness, using data to fine-tune the way we care for our mental state. We've gone from meditating in silence to having precise metrics on how well we're doing. Imagine having real-time feedback on your focus levels, the ebb and flow of your attention, and being able to adjust your techniques instantly. This is a major leap forward in understanding our minds. By creating a feedback loop between our mental state and external tools, we're not just passively practicing mindfulness anymore. We're actively improving it. Now, beyond mindfulness, there's an entirely new frontier, robotic companions designed specifically for mental health care. These aren't the sci-fi robots of the future, but real, tangible products that exist today. Take, for example, robotic pets like Paro, a therapeutic robot shaped like a baby seal. It's being used in hospitals and care facilities to help patients manage anxiety, reduce stress, and even combat depression. Research has shown that simply interacting with Paro can reduce the stress hormone cortisol and increase levels of oxytocin, the love hormone, which promotes feelings of calm and happiness. But robotics in mental health care goes beyond just pet-like companions. We're also seeing the rise of AI-powered chatbots that can provide cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT. These chatbots, such as Wobot, use data and algorithms to guide users through CBT exercises, helping them identify and change negative thought patterns. Unlike traditional therapy, which requires scheduling and financial resources, these bots are accessible 24/7 and can offer immediate support when we need it the most. Of course, the human element in therapy is irreplaceable, but AI-driven tools are filling an important gap in the mental health landscape, making care more accessible and immediate. For many people, these tools can serve as a bridge, providing support in moments of crisis before they can access professional help. As we step back and look at this from a broader perspective, it's clear that we are living in a time of great innovation. But with these advancements come new responsibilities, both for scientists and for ourselves. We must learn to navigate the fine line between technology as a tool and technology as a crutch. After all, the goal of this technological revolution in self-care is to empower us not to replace our own agency in managing our health. Let's also not forget the role of physical activity in mental well-being. The connection between physical and mental health is undeniable, and now technology is amplifying this link in powerful ways. Wearable devices like the Fitbit or Apple Watch are not just tracking our steps anymore. They're giving us detailed insights into our heart rate variability, sleep patterns, and even stress levels. This constant stream of data allows us to see, in real time, how stress and fatigue affect our bodies and minds. Imagine finishing a long workday and your device telling you that your heart rate variability is lower than usual, a sign that your body is under stress. With this data in hand, you can take actionable steps to unwind, whether through a short mindfulness session, physical exercise, or a simple walk outside. The key here is personalization. We're no longer relying on generic advice like get 8 hours of sleep or exercise more. Instead, we have data-driven insights tailored to our own bodies and minds, helping us fine-tune our self-care routines to what we actually need. But where do we go from here? The future of mental and physical health care is moving towards an even greater integration of the two, with a focus on prevention rather than treatment. We are already seeing innovations such as virtual reality, VR therapy, where patients can immerse themselves in calming environments or confront phobias in a controlled, therapeutic space. In VR sessions, someone struggling with social anxiety might practice speaking in front of a virtual audience, or someone recovering from trauma might revisit difficult memories in a safe, guided environment. This is the next level of exposure therapy, allowing patients to confront their fears in ways that would be impossible or too overwhelming in real life. As we look to the future, it's clear that the line between mental health care and technology will continue to blur. We're no longer limited to traditional methods of care. Instead, we have a wide array of tools at our disposal, from robotic companions to biofeedback devices, from mindfulness apps to VR therapy. Each of these innovations is designed with one goal in mind: to give us more control over our mental and physical health in a world that often feels like it's spinning out of control. So, are we ready for this new frontier? Absolutely. Because in this age of constant innovation, it's not about resisting change. It's about embracing the tools that science has given us to live healthier, happier, and more balanced lives. And with these advancements, we're not just managing our mental fatigue. We're actively working to overcome it, one step at a time. When it comes to mental health, few things have a more profound impact on our well-being than sleep. And it's not just about how many hours we spend with our eyes closed, it's also about the quality of that sleep. We've all experienced nights where we technically get enough sleep, yet wake up feeling exhausted, irritable, or foggy. That's because, as science continues to reveal, sleep hygiene is crucial not only for the duration of our rest, but also for ensuring that we reap the full mental health benefits. Think of sleep hygiene as a set of practices and habits that optimize the environment and behaviors surrounding our sleep. It's more than just going to bed at a reasonable hour. It's about creating the right conditions for restorative sleep, which is what we really need for optimal mental health. Sleep hygiene can influence everything from our mood to our cognitive function, and research shows it even plays a role in protecting us from mental health disorders like anxiety and depression. Let's break this down scientifically. When we sleep, our brain cycles through different stages, each playing a unique role in our physical and emotional recovery. The two primary stages of sleep are rapid eye movement (REM) and non-rapid eye movement (NREM) sleep. REM sleep is when our body focuses on physical repair, restoring muscles, boosting immune function, and maintaining healthy hormone levels. REM sleep, on the other hand, is the phase where our brain consolidates memories and processes emotions. If our sleep is disrupted, whether from poor sleep hygiene or other factors, we miss out on the emotional regulation that REM sleep offers. This can leave us more vulnerable to negative emotions, like anxiety, irritability, and even depression. It turns out that sleep and emotions are deeply intertwined. Studies show that poor sleep Quality impairs the brain's ability to process emotions. For example, the amygdala, which is the part of our brain responsible for emotional responses, becomes hyperactive when we don't get enough sleep. This means that even minor stressors can feel overwhelming, leading to heightened feelings of anxiety and frustration. Meanwhile, the prefrontal cortex, which helps us regulate emotions and make decisions, becomes less effective. The result? We become more reactive, less patient, and more prone to emotional outbursts. The lack of quality sleep doesn't just make us feel bad in the moment. It has long-term consequences too. Chronic sleep deprivation has been linked to an increased risk of mental health disorders, including depression. People with insomnia, for example, are much more likely to develop depression than those who sleep well. The relationship between sleep and depression is bidirectional, meaning that poor sleep can lead to depression, and depression can make it harder to sleep. This vicious cycle highlights just how essential good sleep hygiene is for our mental health. So, what exactly is sleep hygiene, and how can we improve it? It involves adopting habits that promote consistent, uninterrupted sleep. One of the most important aspects is sticking to a regular sleep schedule. Our bodies have an internal clock, or circadian rhythm, that regulates when we feel awake and when we feel tired. Going to bed and waking up at the same time every day helps keep this rhythm in sync, making it easier to fall asleep and wake up feeling refreshed. Another crucial factor is our sleep environment. Our bedroom should be a sanctuary for sleep, free from distractions like electronics or bright lights. The science is clear. Exposure to screens, especially before bed, can interfere with our ability to fall asleep. The blue light emitted by phones, tablets, and computers suppresses melatonin, the hormone that helps regulate sleep. This makes it harder to fall asleep and can result in poorer quality sleep. Overall, creating a dark, quiet, and cool environment is essential for encouraging deep, uninterrupted sleep. Our behaviors throughout the day also play a role. What we consume, particularly in the hours leading up to bedtime, has a significant impact on sleep quality. Caffeine and alcohol are two of the biggest culprits when it comes to sleep disruption. Caffeine, of course, is a stimulant that can keep us awake longer than we'd like. But alcohol, though it may make us feel drowsy at first, disrupts the sleep cycle later in the night. Over time, these habits can erode the quality of our sleep, leaving us more vulnerable to mental health issues. Physical activity, too, is part of the sleep hygiene equation. Regular exercise helps regulate our sleep-wake cycle, but the timing of exercise is key. While daily movement promotes better sleep, intense exercise too close to bedtime can leave us too energized to fall asleep. It's all about balance. As we continue to learn more about the connection between sleep and mental health, it becomes clear that improving our sleep hygiene is one of the most effective ways we can support our emotional and cognitive well-being. Whether it's establishing a bedtime routine, creating the right sleep environment, or paying attention to our daily habits, the science is clear. Prioritizing sleep hygiene is essential for a healthier, happier mind. In a world where stress and anxiety seem to be ever present, sleep can often feel like an afterthought, something we sacrifice in the name of productivity or entertainment. But the truth is, without good sleep hygiene, our mental health suffers. By taking small but consistent steps to improve our sleep habits, we're investing not only in a good night's sleep, but in our long-term mental and emotional health. So, let's make sleep hygiene a priority, not just for the sake of feeling rested, but for the sake of our minds. As we navigate the ever-evolving landscape of health technology, one particular trend has stood out: the rise of sleep monitoring apps. Imagine this. We're now living in an era where understanding our sleep patterns has become as easy as tapping on a screen before bed. With apps like Sleep Cycle and Calm, we can track not only the amount of sleep we get, but also the quality of that sleep, all from the convenience of our smartphones. But how exactly do these tools work? And more importantly, what are they teaching us about our health? The fascinating part about these apps is their ability to analyze our sleep cycles through advanced algorithms. These tools measure the subtle movements we make during the night, our breathing patterns, and even our heart rate. They provide insights into the various stages of sleep, light sleep, deep sleep, and REM, each of which plays a critical role in our physical and mental recovery. Knowing how much time we spend in each stage can offer invaluable information about how well rested we truly are, something that often isn't reflected just by how long we slept. In recent years, research has revealed just how vital sleep is for our overall health. Sleep isn't just about recharging our energy. It's a process that supports everything from immune function to memory consolidation. When we slip into deep sleep, for example, our body undergoes significant restoration. Our muscles repair, growth hormones are released, and our immune system strengthens. On the other hand, REM sleep is where our brain processes emotions and solidifies memories. If we're not getting enough of these essential phases, it's not just about feeling tired. We're potentially compromising our mental and physical health in the long run. Through these sleep apps, we've been able to see a clearer picture of the disruptions that prevent us from reaching optimal sleep quality. Maybe it's the blue light from our phones or that glass of wine before bed that keeps us from entering the deeper phases of sleep. By identifying these patterns, we can begin to make small adjustments, like setting a regular bedtime or reducing screen time in the evenings, that result in profound changes in how rested and energized we feel the next day. But let's not forget the psychological component of sleep. Apps like Calm take this a step further by integrating tools designed to ease our minds before sleep. Guided meditations, calming soundscapes, and breathing exercises encourage the relaxation we often need to fall asleep quicker and stay asleep longer. In a world where stress and anxiety are common barriers to good rest, these features aren't just convenient, they're necessary. Interestingly, as we monitor our sleep with these apps, we also become more attuned to the way our bodies and minds feel throughout the day. We can start to draw connections between a poor night's sleep and heightened irritability, lack of focus, or even physical discomfort. Over time, this awareness helps us make more informed choices about our sleep habits, gradually moving toward a healthier lifestyle. There's also a growing body of scientific evidence that supports the use of these technologies for improving sleep health. Studies have shown that self-monitoring, like tracking our sleep data, can motivate behavioral changes that lead to better sleep hygiene. For instance, seeing a pattern of interrupted sleep may encourage us to limit caffeine intake in the afternoon or establish a more consistent bedtime routine. These are small actions, but they can have lasting benefits for our long-term health. Moreover, the real-time feedback these apps provide creates an opportunity for us to experiment with different techniques. We can try cutting out caffeine, adjusting room temperature, or incorporating relaxation exercises, and then observe the results on our sleep data the next morning. It's an iterative process where we become active participants in our own well-being, using data-driven insights to tailor our sleep environments and routines. As we continue to embrace these technologies, we're unlocking a more intimate understanding of one of the most vital processes our body performs. It's not just about getting 8 hours of sleep anymore. It's about the quality of those hours, and these apps offer us a window into that. By taking control of our sleep health, we're not only enhancing our nightly rest, but also improving our overall health in the long run. In the end, sleep tracking isn't just about numbers or graphs on a screen. It's about taking a proactive approach to our health, learning from the data, and making changes that positively impact our lives. With every night we track and every habit we tweak, we're building a foundation for better days ahead, more focus, more energy, and ultimately, a healthier us. We've all been there, tossing and turning in bed, trying to get comfortable, and yet sleep feels just out of reach. Over time, we started to realize how deeply technology affects not only how we live during the day, but also how we sleep at night. It seems counterintuitive, technology disrupting sleep. But interestingly, it can also be used to help us improve our rest. The secret lies in how we manipulate it, particularly by managing our exposure to blue light. As humans, We evolved under the natural cycle of day and night, and our bodies are hardwired to this rhythm. Our circadian clock relies heavily on light to tell us when it's time to be awake and alert, or when it's time to relax and prepare for sleep. Yet in our modern lives, we're surrounded by screens, phones, computers, tablets, all of which emit blue light that tricks our brain into thinking it's still daylight. This extends our alertness late into the night, making it harder to wind down and fall asleep. Research has shown that blue light significantly affects melatonin production. Melatonin is a hormone produced by the pineal gland in the brain that plays a crucial role in regulating sleep-wake cycles. Normally, melatonin levels rise in the evening as the environment becomes darker, signaling to our body that it's time to rest. But when we expose ourselves to blue light, such as from our smartphones or laptops, we disrupt this natural process. Our melatonin levels remain suppressed, and it becomes increasingly difficult to fall asleep at a reasonable time. That's where technology starts to work in our favor, rather than against us. By using certain apps or settings, we can reduce our exposure to blue light during the hours leading up to bedtime. For instance, apps like f.lux or the night mode on most smartphones filter out the blue spectrum of light and shift the screen's color to warmer tones. This creates a more natural lighting environment for our brains, mimicking the sunset and signaling that it's time to start winding down. We've noticed a remarkable improvement in our sleep quality when we use these tools consistently. The change isn't immediate. Like most health-related improvements, it takes a bit of time. But within a week or two, it becomes clear that this small adjustment can have a big impact. There's a certain calm that comes over us as we switch to night mode or activate f.lux. Our screens go from bright, sharp blues and whites to a soft, amber glow. It's almost as if our brains breathe a sigh of relief, finally being allowed to enter that much-needed transition into rest. However, it's not just about the blue light reduction. Technology helps us create a more comprehensive sleep routine. Many of us rely on sleep tracking apps that provide insights into our sleep patterns when we're in light, deep, or REM sleep, and these can guide us toward healthier habits. For example, we might discover that staying up just an extra half hour causes our deep sleep cycles to suffer, or that waking up at a consistent time improves how we feel throughout the day. Armed with this knowledge, we can make more informed decisions about how to structure our evenings. We'll also pair these technological interventions with other sleep hygiene practices to get the most benefit, setting a consistent bedtime, avoiding caffeine late in the day, and engaging in relaxing activities before bed, such as reading or meditating. Work in tandem with the reduced blue light exposure to create an optimal sleep environment. The combination of behavior and technology forms a holistic approach to improving our sleep quality and, ultimately, our overall health. It's fascinating how something as simple as adjusting the light we expose ourselves to can make such a profound difference. For years, many of us were unknowingly sabotaging our own sleep by engaging with our devices late into the night. But with a greater understanding of how blue light affects our circadian rhythms, we've been able to regain control of our sleep, leveraging technology in a smarter, more intentional way. As we continue to explore the intersection of health and technology, the potential to enhance our well-being grows exponentially. We're learning that technology doesn't have to be an obstacle to rest. It can be an ally, helping us build a healthier, more sustainable lifestyle. And it all begins with something as simple as adjusting the glow of a screen. We often think about self-care as something tied primarily to rest and relaxation, like getting a good night's sleep or finding time for meditation. But self-care goes far beyond these essential habits. Movement, for instance, plays a crucial role in maintaining both our mental and physical well-being. Many of us already know how physical exercise stimulates the release of endorphins, those natural chemicals in our brain responsible for reducing stress and enhancing our mood. It's no secret that when we engage in a good workout, we feel uplifted, energized, and even happier. But what if we told you that the landscape of self-care is evolving even further? Robotics is stepping into the scene, ready to reshape the way we approach physical health and exercise. While we've traditionally thought of robotics in terms of industrial automation or advanced surgery, the possibilities for personal health and wellness are just beginning to unfold. Imagine this. Instead of heading to the gym to lift weights or running through a crowded park, what if we could use robotic technology to amplify our movements, guide us through exercises, or even tailor personalized fitness routines based on real-time feedback from our bodies? Think of how wearable technology has already started to pave the way. Devices like smartwatches and fitness trackers have made it easier for us to monitor our heart rates, sleep patterns, and daily steps. They give us real-time data about our health and encourage us to stay active. But robotics can go much further. Picture a robotic exoskeleton, light and unobtrusive, that not only enhances our natural movements but also assists in rehabilitation for those with injuries or disabilities. This technology can help us regain lost mobility, improve our physical capabilities, or simply help us maintain an ideal form while exercising. Now, some might ask, why would we need robots when we can just go for a run or take a yoga class? The answer lies in the precision and personalization that robotics brings to the table. We all know that form matters in exercise. Poor technique can lead to injury or prevent us from making progress. A robotic system could track our movements down to the smallest details, correcting our posture, adjusting resistance, or even mimicking the expertise of a personal trainer, all in real time. This level of precision could significantly reduce the risk of injury and maximize the efficiency of every workout session. For those of us who struggle with motivation or consistency, robotic assistants could provide encouragement or adapt routines to keep things engaging and aligned with our progress. In the realm of mental health, we also can't overlook the potential impact. Exercise has long been recognized as a potent tool for managing conditions like depression, anxiety, and stress. However, the accessibility of exercise isn't universal. People with chronic conditions, physical disabilities, or limited mobility often find it difficult to engage in traditional forms of physical activity. Robotics has the potential to level the playing field, offering adaptive solutions that cater to individual needs. Imagine a world where everyone, regardless of physical limitation, has access to movement as a form of self-care, where technology assists in making exercise both safe and enjoyable. And we're not talking about some distant future. Research in this field is accelerating. Scientists are already developing robotic systems that can interact with the human body in sophisticated ways. These systems don't just mimic human movements. They're designed to understand and respond to our unique biomechanics. Robotics are increasingly becoming more intuitive and responsive, adapting to our body's needs in real time. The future could involve robots that don't just assist with movement but also predict our needs, optimizing our physical and mental well-being before we even recognize there's an issue. We'll also need to consider how robotics could transform recovery and rehabilitation. Right now, many people recovering from surgery or injury rely on physical therapy to restore strength and mobility. However, the process can be slow and often requires expert supervision, which isn't always accessible to everyone. Robotic systems, equipped with sensors and algorithms, could offer continuous, precise feedback to both patients and therapists, speeding up recovery times and making rehabilitation more efficient. In some experimental settings, robotic arms and exoskeletons are already being used to help patients regain lost function, like those recovering from strokes or spinal injuries. The potential here is vast, not just for acute care, but also for chronic conditions like arthritis or degenerative diseases. But it's not just about the physical benefits. As we move, interact, and engage with robotic technologies, there's an important psychological element at play. Human-robot interaction could offer an added layer of motivation and support, akin to a personal fitness coach that is available 24/7. This kind of constant companionship could boost our mental resilience, helping to combat feelings of isolation especially for those of us who struggle with depression or anxiety. Robotics, in this sense, could be the next frontier in holistic health, seamlessly integrating physical, mental, and emotional well-being into one cohesive experience. It's no longer just about the endorphin rush we feel after a workout or the sense of accomplishment that comes from hitting a fitness goal. We're moving toward a world where technology, specifically robotics, will enhance our ability to care for ourselves in ways we've never imagined. As we continue to integrate this technology into our daily lives, we might soon look back and wonder how we ever managed self-care without it. Whether it's guiding us through a morning stretch, helping us recover from an injury, or even ensuring we maintain proper form during a yoga session, robotics is poised to revolutionize the way we move, live, and care for ourselves. And as we embrace these advancements, we might just find that self-care is no longer something we have to carve out time for. It's something that happens seamlessly in sync with our bodies and integrated into our daily routines. We're on the brink of a new era where self-care through movement will be enhanced by the precise, adaptable, and responsive capabilities of robotics, leading us toward a future where optimal health is accessible to everyone. Robotics is transforming how we approach physical and mental rehabilitation. Picture this: after a serious injury, where once we might have faced months, if not years, of slow, uncertain recovery, we now have machines by our side, helping us regain lost movements with precision and safety. This isn't some distant dream. It's happening now in rehabilitation centers across the world. Let's walk through what this looks like. Imagine waking up after an accident, unable to move as you once did. The frustration, the fear, the feeling that life as you knew it might never be the same again. But then in the rehabilitation center, there's a device, an exoskeleton that can be strapped to your body. It isn't just a passive machine. It actively supports your body, helping your muscles and joints perform movements they haven't made in weeks or months. With each assisted step, your body starts to remember what it feels like to walk again. Now, let's think about the sheer precision these robots offer. Traditional physical therapy is limited by human ability. Therapists can only do so much. They guide us, but they can't replicate the minute, perfect repetitions of movement needed for optimal recovery. Robots, however, are different. They don't tire. They don't waver in their accuracy. A robotic arm can adjust your leg's position to the exact angle necessary for proper alignment and repeat that motion hundreds of times if needed. This precision allows the body to relearn movements far more effectively. But the benefits aren't just physical. There's a profound psychological component to all of this. When a person loses mobility, it's not just the body that suffers, it's the mind. The sense of independence is shattered, and the road ahead seems daunting. This is where robotics becomes more than just a tool for physical recovery. It becomes a bridge to mental resilience. For someone who hasn't walked in months to suddenly be upright, moving with the help of an exoskeleton, imagine the emotional impact. There's a spark of hope, a sense of progress. It's not just about walking again. It's about feeling human again. The ability to move, to control one's body, is fundamental to our sense of self. Regaining that control, even with the assistance of robotics, can dramatically improve a person's mental health. There's a reason why mental health professionals emphasize the connection between the mind and body in recovery. When our body starts to heal, it sends powerful signals to our brain. Asterisk, you're getting better. You're making progress. Asterisk, and with robotics, we can amplify those signals, accelerating the psychological benefits alongside the physical ones. We can also look at how robotics helps with consistency in rehabilitation. In traditional settings, there's often a limit to how much time can be devoted to each patient. Even in the best environments, therapists need to move between clients, and time is finite. With robotic systems, therapy can continue for as long as necessary without the constraints of human energy or availability. Patients can spend longer working on their recovery, meaning they make progress faster. Exoskeletons are perhaps the most visible example of this revolution, but they're only the beginning. Robotic arms are assisting with upper body rehabilitation, helping stroke victims regain control over fine motor skills. Virtual reality is being combined with robotics to create immersive environments where patients can train their brains as well as their bodies. For instance, someone recovering from a traumatic brain injury can use a robotic interface to play a game that requires mental focus and coordination, speeding up their cognitive and physical rehabilitation. What's also fascinating is the adaptability of these machines. Robotics doesn't follow a one-size-fits-all model. The systems are tailored to each individual's specific needs. Whether someone needs help with walking, grasping, or even just sitting upright, the machines can adjust to provide the exact kind of support required. As technology continues to evolve, these devices will become even more intuitive, responding to the body's needs in real time, adjusting to changes in muscle tone or joint stiffness. This means that rehabilitation won't just be faster, it will be smarter. From a scientific standpoint, what's happening is a merging of biomechanical engineering, neuroscience, and robotics. We're at the frontier where machines aren't just tools, they're becoming partners in the healing process. Studies are already showing that patients who incorporate robotics into their therapy recover faster with better outcomes than those using traditional methods alone. The future is even more exciting. We're seeing the development of soft robotics, which will allow for even greater flexibility and comfort. These systems will work with our bodies more naturally, mimicking the movements of muscles and joints more closely. There's also the potential for brain-machine interfaces, where the brain's own signals can directly control robotic limbs, making them feel even more like extensions of our bodies. In conclusion, robotics is not just changing rehabilitation, it's redefining it. For patients, this means a faster return to normalcy, restoration of independence, and a dramatic improvement in quality of life. For healthcare professionals, it means having new, powerful tools to help their patients achieve their goals. And for all of us, it signals a future where recovery from physical and mental setbacks is more efficient, more effective, and more hopeful than ever before. We live in a world where the line between science fiction and reality is blurring faster than ever. As we look at the intersection of technology and health, it's clear that the innovations we once only dreamed of are now at our fingertips. One of the most groundbreaking advancements we've seen recently is the integration of emotion sensing technology with personalized health devices. These aren't just your typical health trackers anymore, they're evolving into something far more intuitive and far more aligned with the intricate complexities of our emotional and physical states. Let's start with how this works. At the core of this technology are sensors that can pick up subtle physiological signals. They can detect changes in heart rate, skin temperature, and even microfluctuations in perspiration levels, markers that give insight into our emotional states. But it doesn't stop there. These devices also use sophisticated algorithms to analyze our behavioral patterns. So, not only can they tell when we're stressed or calm, but they can predict what our emotional state might be based on past data. Imagine a device that knows you well enough to anticipate how you'll feel before you even register the change yourself. We're witnessing a new era where our emotions are becoming as trackable as our steps. The brilliance of these devices is in how they adjust their feedback based on our emotional states. When we're stressed, the device might slow down the intensity of a workout or encourage us to take deep, calming breaths. On the other hand, if we're in a state of calm or positive excitement, it might suggest pushing ourselves a bit harder, knowing we're emotionally prepared for the challenge. It's fascinating, really, because the technology doesn't just serve us in the realm of fitness or physical health. The emotional component adds a layer of mental wellness that can be life-changing. Think about how often our emotions derail our best intentions. We might plan to go for a run, but stress or anxiety can hold us back, leading to procrastination or even complete avoidance. These new devices recognize those emotional barriers and adapt accordingly, offering suggestions that are aligned not only with our fitness goals, but with our emotional capacity at that moment. They nudge us when we need it and pull back when it's clear we're overwhelmed. This kind of emotional feedback system isn't just about adjusting intensity. It's about creating a holistic experience. For example, imagine you're in the middle of a workout, and the device detects a spike in your heart rate that isn't just from physical exertion, but from stress. Instead of pushing you to keep going, it may suggest a short mindfulness exercise or a breathing technique, helping you refocus and calm your mind before you continue. In this way, the device not only helps us reach our physical goals, but also takes care of our mental well-being, ensuring we don't burn out or push ourselves beyond what's healthy. We have entered an era where personalized health doesn't just mean tailored workouts or diet plans. It means understanding our emotional rhythms and integrating that understanding into our physical wellness routines. By doing this, we can achieve a balance that goes beyond mere fitness. Our mental health and emotional state are just as important as our physical health, and this technology acknowledges that in a way that feels revolutionary. What's even more impressive is that this technology is continually learning from us. The more we use it, the better it gets at predicting how we're feeling and what we need. Over time, it builds a highly personalized profile of our emotional and physical health, making its suggestions more accurate and more effective. It's as if we're being coached not just by a fitness expert, but by a wellness expert who understands the complexities of the human experience. There's something almost surreal about having a device that's so in tune with our emotions. It feels like we're living in the future, where machines can understand us in ways we never thought possible. But this isn't some far-off vision of tomorrow. This is happening now. The combination of emotion-sensing technology and personalized health devices is transforming how we approach wellness. And as these devices become more sophisticated, the potential for them to help us lead healthier, more balanced lives grows exponentially. So, while it may have once sounded like science fiction to say that technology could align with our emotions, it's no longer a fantasy. We're living in a time where our devices can understand us on a deeper level, responding not just to our physical needs but to our emotional states as well. And this changes everything from how we approach fitness to how we manage stress and mental health. This is the future of wellness, and we're just beginning to tap into its incredible potential. We're witnessing the dawn of a revolution in how we approach health and wellness. It's no longer just about the basics: diet, exercise, and regular checkups. Today, self-care is taking on an entirely new dimension, driven by the integration of science, technology, and innovation. We're moving towards a future where living longer is not the ultimate goal. Instead, it's about living better, with more vitality and purpose. The landscape of healthcare is evolving rapidly, and we are right in the middle of this transformation. Consider the way we now track our daily habits. What used to be confined to an annual visit to the doctor's office is now in the palm of our hands, literally. Health apps have become our constant companions, logging everything from our steps to our sleep patterns, from heart rate to stress levels. With the help of wearable technology, we're more informed about our bodies than ever before. But it doesn't stop there. These devices are becoming smarter, capable of making personalized recommendations, detecting anomalies in our health, and even predicting potential illnesses before they manifest. We're seeing how artificial intelligence is being integrated into these tools, allowing for a more tailored experience. Machine learning algorithms can now analyze vast amounts of data generated by our wearable tech to recognize patterns that we, as humans, might overlook. This data-driven insight gives us a deeper understanding of how our lifestyle choices, what we eat, how we move, and even how we manage stress directly impact our long-term health. With each new piece of information, we become more equipped to make choices that can prevent chronic conditions, reduce the risk of disease, and optimize our well-being. Then there's the rise of robotics in healthcare, especially in the realm of physical rehabilitation. Robotic exoskeletons, once the stuff of science fiction, are now helping individuals regain mobility after injuries or strokes. These machines are not just performing tasks for us, but learning from our movements, adapting to our needs, and assisting in ways that are far beyond human capabilities alone. Imagine a future where people with limited mobility no longer depend solely on physical therapists or caretakers, but are supported by intelligent machines that can respond in real time, providing assistance that is both personalized and efficient. This intersection of technology and healthcare is also reshaping how we think about mental health. We are increasingly recognizing the profound connection between our physical and mental well-being. Innovative apps and platforms are being developed to offer real-time support for mental health challenges. They're not just about meditation or relaxation anymore. We're talking about AI-powered tools that can recognize the early signs of anxiety or depression, offering interventions that can prevent these issues from escalating. This level of accessibility means that more people can get the help they need when they need it, without the stigma that often accompanies traditional mental health treatment. We're at the forefront of a new era where prevention is becoming more accessible and personalized. It's not just about treating illness after it occurs. It's about catching it early, or, better yet, preventing it altogether. For instance, apps that monitor our eating habits can now identify nutritional deficiencies long before they result in fatigue, weakness, or more serious health conditions. They can guide us toward better choices, helping us adopt healthier habits that can stave off disease before it even has a chance to develop. Moreover, the data we generate from these apps, wearables, and other tools doesn't exist in isolation. The rise of digital health platforms means that this information can be easily shared with healthcare professionals. Our doctors can now receive real-time updates on our health status, allowing for more informed decisions during consultations. This constant flow of information turns healthcare into a continuous, proactive process rather than something that only happens during an annual checkup or when we feel unwell. As we embrace these trends, we are not only gaining the tools to manage our health, but also the knowledge to make smarter, more informed decisions. We are shifting away from the old model of healthcare, which was reactive, towards a model that empowers us to be proactive. In this new landscape, we are the ones in control of our health journeys. With science and technology working hand in hand, the promise of living longer and healthier lives is no longer a distant dream. It's becoming our reality. The revolution is here, and we are the pioneers. Together, we are creating a future where healthcare is not just a service we seek when we're sick, but a daily part of our lives, embedded in the way we live, think, and act. It's a future where mental and physical health are treated as two sides of the same coin, and where personalized, preventive care is accessible to all. This is the health revolution, and we are leading the charge. In today's world, the importance of our mental and physical health has become clearer than ever before. We're surrounded by information, research, and new scientific discoveries that highlight how crucial it is to care for ourselves, both in body and mind. So we have to ask ourselves, are we truly taking the steps we need to protect our well-being? Science has shown us that everything we do, from the foods we eat to the thoughts we entertain, impacts our overall health. Our daily habits shape our long-term health outcomes. Studies on mental health have uncovered the profound effects of chronic stress on our brains, linking it to conditions such as anxiety, depression, and even physical ailments like heart disease. And while it might sound overwhelming at first, the good news is that we are never powerless in the face of these challenges. The truth is, we have more control than we realize. Research tells us that simple, consistent actions can lead to profound changes over time. Let's talk about our mental health. Did you know that something as simple as practicing mindfulness for just a few minutes a day can reduce stress and improve our ability to focus? Scientific studies back this up, showing that meditation and mindfulness are linked to increased gray matter in the brain, which supports our ability to process emotions and maintain a calm state of mind. Not to mention the endorphin boost we get from regular physical activity doesn't just strengthen our muscles, elevates our mood, and helps us think more clearly. Physical health goes hand in hand with mental well-being. We know from countless studies that exercise improves not only our cardiovascular health, but also our cognitive function. Regular physical activity has been linked to improved memory, faster learning, and better Decision-making skills. It's like our bodies and minds are part of one interconnected system, where the health of one supports the health of the other. And we don't need to be athletes to benefit. A brisk 30-minute walk every day has been shown to significantly reduce the risk of many chronic diseases, from diabetes to hypertension. But we all know that starting and maintaining these habits can be tough. That's where the beauty of scientific research comes in again. It shows us that forming habits is possible when we take small, consistent steps. The idea of neuroplasticity has transformed our understanding of how the brain works. Simply put, neuroplasticity means that our brains are capable of change, even as adults. By repeating healthy actions, we can actually rewire our brains to prefer these habits, making them a natural part of our lives. So, are we truly caring for our mental and physical health in the way we deserve? If we're already on this journey, then we should be proud of how far we've come. But if not, we need to remember, it's never too late to start. Every small action counts, and science is on our side. Whether it's incorporating more movement into our daily routine, taking a few minutes to breathe deeply, or making healthier food choices, we have the tools to enhance our health one step at a time. Let's not wait for the perfect moment, because our health deserves attention right now. Science continues to give us the evidence we need to understand the importance of balance, routine, and care. By making even small changes today, we are setting ourselves up for a healthier, brighter tomorrow. Oh, and before you go, make sure to subscribe to the channel, leave a like if this resonated with you, and share this video with someone who could benefit from these tips. We're all in this together, supporting each other on this journey to better health. See you in the next video. Until then, let's keep taking care of ourselves. You deserve it, and so do we.